Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So when this video goes out, it's the 1st of August and it is Stamp Around UK. But I'm filming this on the hottest day of the year. And right now outside, it has reached 101 degrees. And I'm very, very hot. Anyway, so our theme this month is layers and textures. So I've created some layers and textured projects. I've made some faux stamps and turned them into a lovely vintage tag to be used in a journal. So or you could add it to a gift, or you could pop it on the card, whatever you want. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. And down below is the links to everybody else who's taking part in the blog hop, video hop. So do pop around when you finish watching me and see what everybody else has made. So I've got the Rings of Love designer series paper. This is free in celebration with a £45 spend, and there's these two sheets here. They're different on the other side. I love that. And the other side of this is that, and I've done a video using this. I did a one sheet under, made 9 Christmas cards. And these birds, I thought I could use these in journals. I just thought they were cute and I thought they'd work really well. So, and I thought I could incorporate the birds with this some way. So that's a way of getting layers, and I'm going to use probably an embossing folder to get some texture as well, which is our theme. So I've got my rectangle postage stamp. I do like making faux stamps. So just looking there, we've got a bird there. I think that would be nice in the middle of a stamp. We've got the head of the other one underneath, but I think that's good. I've done faux postage stamps before. I'm going to take that one at an angle. I did it with another bird page as well, so they're cool. Can do that. I wish I was cool. I'm filming this on the hottest day of the year. Yesterday was the hottest day of the year until today came along and beat it. I could have 2 birds on that. I don't want to waste too much. I'm going to take that one. And then you can change your sizes. So I'm going to feed that back under there. And punch again. And then we've got a smaller postage stamp. Yeah, yesterday was the hottest day on record until today came along. And I did, it was showing it was 95 degrees not very long ago. So I decided to step outside and see what 95 degrees felt like. I'm still working in Fahrenheit. Right, let's do that one that way up. And hot is all I can say. Blooming hot. I've been abroad in these heat. Not often, because I don't like the heat like this. But heck, we just don't have the aircon and the things to do with it. So yeah, too hot for me. So yeah, that is my idea. I might get some more. I do have a smaller postage stamp punch, but it's retired. So, and for our Stamp Around UK, we just use current. So I'm not going to do the whole sheet because I'll probably use that one for myself. So yeah, liking them. They are working a treat. I like those two there. I think they work well together. 2 on 1. Bit like that, because the pattern's repeated, so we are going to get some of the same. So yeah, liking that. I think that's enough to show the process of what I'm going to try and do. So there is my stamps, and to make them look like they've been ripped from an envelope, I'm going to use some tea dye paper. So yeah, liking that. So I am going to take a long ruler and do a little bit of ripping, because it needs to have a bit of a ripped edge. So I'm just going to put that along the edge there. There we go. Just so you get a little subtle tear, slightly furry. That's what I want. So we'll then come about there. And we'll take the end off there. So I do like them to look like the stamps have been used. So, and have we still got postmarks? Yes, we have. Ranunculus Romance has got postmarks in it. I was just suddenly thinking that, oh, did it retire? But, oh, still got it. So, there we go. So that is one. Now I could use a tear ruler, or you could rip it by hand to get a different effect. So I'm actually thinking I might do the next one ripped a bit more. Might rip it from that end, because that end needs ripping anyway. There, so you get a bit of a different effect. So quite like that. A bit rough and ready. So I'm going to come across there. Yep. And then we want to take these two ends off. And that looks a little bit more like it certainly has been ripped from an envelope. Well, that looks well and truly like it's been ripped from an envelope, but that's okay. And that looks like, because if the envelope's folded, you might have a straighter edge that side. Quite like that. That works for me. And then we could do one that we rip around just by hand. So we're going to come down about there. Like so, yeah, liking that. I think that one's a bit too big. I might rip a bit more. There we go. Yeah, liking those. So then let's do these others. You can use a bit of water to weaken the paper if you want a little bit more of a controlled rip. So if you run a aqua painter, water painter, paintbrush, whatever you got, along there, that weakens the fibres a bit, and so when you're ripping you'll definitely go along that line. There is, so on this one I've got a bigger rip. Again, you can use your paintbrush to go along the edge. Not sure how much water's in that. Started well there, Jez. Started well there. There we go. So this gives a deeper rip. There we go. I'm going to rip up there. That's that. One more. You can as well use pinking shears. Gives you a different effect if you want to use pinking shears. I know lots of people have them. But that's another effect that you can get. Might use that on the slightly smaller one. There. Just so you get an idea of the different effects you can get with whatever tools you have. Okay, so then I'm going to do some inking because that's what I do. And that's one of the reasons for getting a nice ripped edge, is because it takes ink really well. Like soft suede, I think it's got soft suede in it. Has it? Let me check the colours. Soft suede, yeah, I was right. So a bit of soft suede. I got the soft suede spongy dauber, and I'm going to go round the actual stamp and then round the ripped edge, so as if it's been ripped off. Oh, I re-inked this, a bit juicy. Yeah, and it's been laid about for a bit. Which way round do I like it? There. So that's that. I won't ink the others on camera because that's a bit boring. So there, they're all done, and I've just stuck them together. You didn't see me gluing them together. So I've got some stamps ready. So I'm taking the sort of ink splot there from Nature's Prints, and I've got that postmark there from Unculus Romance, and I've got that label as well. Thought that might look quite nice. And I'm going to stick with the soft suede, I think. So I use my old catalogues. Save me grid mat. I know the grid mat, that's what it's designed for. But yeah, this is just easy to pull on. So I am gonna stick a label on some, because you do get all sorts of labels on your stamps if, you know, different countries do different things. So I thought we'd have that, and it's going to have a French postmark. So, and is Lille in France? I don't know. There we go. So there's that. I'm sure somebody will tell me. So then we can put our other postmark there, like so. And they're always kind of randomly placed, and I don't want to cover up my birds too much, so that's cool. And then I thought we might have a little bit of ink on it. I'm going to take crumb cake. I want that to be a little bit lighter, so I'm gonna stamp a bit of an ink splot on it. That's quite dark. Let's do second generation. There we go. Stamp off, stamp on. Just so this is a way of adding the impression of texture by adding ink. So you're not actually adding sort of physical layers and texture, you're doing it through the ink. So that's quite juicy as well. I've re-inked that and all. So that's them done. And now the other way, I am going to add physical texture. So I might not do it on all of them. So because they might be quite old, I'm gonna, they're time worn, I'm gonna use my time worn embossing folder, and I'm going to emboss them so that it might sort of give the impression, you know, like when you write something, the page below it in the pad has an impression of what you've written, and that is what I thought this would create on these stamps, but I can do them all together. So I'm going to run that through my embossing folder. So that's that done. And yeah, and oh, they feel nice as well. So maybe you can see there the effect you're getting. You can see it better on the back, I think. And it feels nice. So you've got texture there. Loving the way that feels in my hand. You can see it there. A little bit there. So yeah, they're all looking really good, and actually it makes this look a little bit more like it's, I don't know, like on canvas. So it's like a proper painting. So yeah, they have turned out really nice. Liking that. So then I thought I might put them, if I use this for a sort of tag, that's sort of making a nice sort of background for it. So I might cut this down to make a tag. I might only do one. So shall we have a 3-inch wide tag? Why not? Why not? Let's do a 3-inch wide one. Shall we do it 6 inches long? Then I can make 2. There we go. Liking that. I will have to back that. It's not going to be thick enough. So I might back this onto, is that going to be big enough? Oh, just. So I'm just going to glue these to this paper so it's giving it a little bit of stiffness. So that's them done. I did, you might see me change paper, is that originally I used that which I'd used for the stamps, and this is just ordinary copier paper, so it wouldn't have been thick enough, whereas this is 120 GSM. So so the second one I did on that, and then I just restuck that one because you could see the other paper through as well, and I didn't want that. So that's them done. So now we need to make them tag shape. So I'm going to use our best trio punch. So I'm going to do one with the fancy end. So do it like that, and then you turn it over, and then we get a nice tag top like that. And then the other way is by doing it with the slanted one. So you get 2 different tag shapes with this punch. I love it. Love it. It's probably my favourite thing in the catalogue, actually. And then line it up. You've got a mark here. Now I could measure it, find the midway point. I'm just using my eyes to line it up in the middle. And that gives you, I don't think I did that very well. It's fine. It's fine. So lining that one up. That one's a bit better. So that's our tag topper done. And then we're going to put these stamps on like that. Quite liking that. She says changing her mind. Might use a little square one. There we go. So then I want a layer behind. So it's all textures and layers, so I want a layer behind. So I'm just looking at ribbons that we've got. So we've got this lovely ribbon, so that could get layered behind. This is when I faff. This is when I faff. Got the lovely faux suede ribbon as well. That might be nice in the top actually. What else could I use? Looking at the colours on here. So I think I'm going to put some die cuts behind it. So I've got the Meadow dies. So I might die cut some of these to go behind. I could do that one. So if that was cut out behind, that might look quite nice. And that one maybe. And this adds texture. So I could do something to go behind that. And I do love this die here that gives the edge of a torn out sheet. So I think that's what I want to do. So I'm thinking I'll get a bit of card, crumb cake maybe, and put that in it because I think that'd be a good colour behind. And that size looks good. And cut that down. Totally making this up as I go along. So the thing's 3 inches wide, so let's go to 2 3/4. What have we got there? It looks like it's 4 1/4 long. If I'm gonna emboss that, well, not emboss, you know, die cut, so bits will come out, and I'm going to die cut that along the edge, so it's like a ripped out piece of note paper. So that's that done. Most of those pop out quite nicely. And to be fair, I'm not bothered if there's some left in. In fact, I'm going to leave them in. There we go. So, although I do have to take the ones down the side out because they wouldn't be in there, because that would have been torn out of a book. So those won't have been there. So we've got layer and texture on there. I'm liking the way that looks. And then if I cut that out to go behind, so I might cut that out with soft suede for the stem, and I might pick out the blue for the flowers so they stick them on, so I might do that. So that's those two bits cut out. So I want these flowers heads to stick over the flowers on the die cut. They're like joined together, so let's take them off like so. I don't want the whole of that, so take that bit off there. So that's going to get stuck over that. So I'm going to use my tweezers, and then we'll just glue that down, just to give it a little bit of colour, a little bit of lift, also adding layers and texture. Like this, I don't want the bottom of this would not be blue. I mean, it would be green, wouldn't it? But I'm using a soft suede. There we go. So that can stick on that one. A little bud waiting to open. Right, and I'll continue with the others. So that's the flowers done. I feel they need a curry inner. So I've got a really tiny scrap. I really honestly don't throw these away. This punch here's got a tiny, tiny circle. So I want 3 of them. There we go. And I'm gonna do the tiniest dot. There we go, little dot of that. And I've got a little picker-upper. There we go. I think that just needed it. So that can now go on there, go on there, go on there. So I will stick them together. I'm going to do some inking first as well. So that's that all nicely dry and sorted. I really like that. So we just need some ribbon for the top. So I'm going to use the faux suede ribbon. So I think that will look good. So I'm just gonna, I'm going to use some linen thread with it. So I'm going to cut those at an angle like so, and then I like to take, that'll probably be enough for the other one, I like to take a bit of linen thread, start my bow off, tie it tight at 90 degrees to where you want your bow to sit, tie your bow, there we go. So that is that one. And then let's just finish off the other one quickly. I've done most of the prep. So another way of adding texture is I sewed. So I used my sewing machine and sewed it round. We do have the Stitchery stamp sets. You can stamp them if you want to. So you give the impression of layering, but you're using ink. So I've done that in the same way. I've cut that one out. And that one, and I felt like that one's got a bit of blue behind it. I felt this one needed something, so got this ribbon. It's the only bit of it I've got. It's in the catalogue, really nice, and you can stamp on it. So I thought, we've got this lovely stamp here, so I thought, why not stamp that? Thought that might look cool. It might not, we'll see. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, haven't tried it out, so we shall see. So I thought, stamp that on there. So where's my soft suede gone? You put it away, Jez. I have been keeping my rim tidy, which is amazing. So there we go. So I'm going to stamp that on there. Up sticking to the paper. That's lovely, that. How cool's that? I'd buy ribbon printed like that. Most definitely. Most definitely. That's gorge. But I don't need to buy ribbon printed like that, because I can just, here we go, make my own. So there we go. Pulling it off. Might give it a bit of a fray. That's quite cool. Junk journaling is all about it looking old. And then that, I think, will look lovely under there. So that's what I'm doing for that. I'm going to stick that down. And I thought about the top that it might be nice to have, I haven't done it on that one, but to have a little bit of, you know, like you get the top of a tag. So just a little scrap, little teeny tiny scrap, let me just eyeball in how wide I want it. About there. As long as it's wider than the slit, and it is. So then I'll neaten the other end. There we go. Fold it in half. There we go. Now the only thing that's going to be difficult for this is getting it up in this punch to punch the hole. So I'm going to need something to help me push it up. Let's try a post-it. I think I might be a bit over time. There we go. I'm going to put that in the centre. Line it up. Keep it straight. Take it up to the top. Give it a punch. Cooking on gas. Love it when a plan comes together. And then that fit over there. Lovely jubbly. It is a bit long. Gonna cut the end. There we go. And I'm just going to glue that down. So I do like tags that have the little reinforcers. That's the word. Reinforcers at the top. Oh, moving all over the place. There we go. Sorted. Right, so I'm going to get that lot all stuck on and then we'll be done. There we are. So that is my layers and texture project for Stamp Around UK done. You'll find all the links down below to everybody else taking part in the video hop, so do pop and see everybody, and I will ink around this because I appear to have forgot. I'll link to my shop so you can purchase any of these things. The paper that I've used is free with a £45 order during celebration, and that lasts until the end of August. So, oh yeah, this will be August the 1st. Really? Yeah. So yeah, hopefully by the time this video comes out, it's cooled down in the UK. Okay, thanks for joining me. See you all again soon.